wind come a-driftin' slow-like from them red cliffs down south, totin' along the smell of pinon pine and dust that'd choke a mule. About 20 days hard riding from Rancho El Cuervo, there in the Chiricahua village. Shadows was stretchin' long over them buffalo hide teepees, and the dogs was scamperin' this way and that, sniffin' out spots where they'd buried a bone or two. From up north come a whispery song, the lazy-like voices of women croonin' away. Atcha Lee, she being the first wife of Pasago Cabazon, was twistin' up some yucca grass. She had them fine little wrinkles round her eyes, badges from the dust and sun after all them long years waitin' on Pasago's wanderin's. Every time he lit out, they said their goodbyes like it was the last they'd ever clap eyes on one another. Her hands smelt of smoke and sagebrush, and in her eyes there burned a quiet fire, like embers that ain't fixin' to die out nohow. Round her, the women folk of the tribe was workin' in hush, rubbin' them buffalo hides with ash and melted fat. The sun was blazin' down fierce on the valley, and the air so dry it scorched your innards with every breath you drawed. Then come a young shadow slippin' up. It was Jaizi Yisai, Pasago's new wife. She had a soft leather band across her forehead and a little feather from Ilaut Sui, that hummingbird what only shows itself to them with kind hearts. In her hands she was holding a jar brimful of cold spring water. Atcha Lee looked up, leaning a mite on her knees. "What you reckon to do with that there?" she asked, eyeing the jar. Jaizi Yisai smiled soft, like a gal hankerin' to be handy. "I fetched water." "The women folks plumb tuckered and the sun's burnin' our lips something awful. Maybe a sip'll help 'em get their strength back." A few of the women raised their heads, drawed by her gentle talk and the cool of that water. Atcha Lee busted out laughing, short and rough, but not mean-spirited none. "How you aim to slake the thirst of a whole tribe with one little jar, young'un?" The other women smiled quiet-like. The one they called She Who Smiles then spoke up, with her calm and shiny face. "Once upon a time there was a hummingbird. It had a nest in a woods on the rim of the canyon. One dry as bones day the woods caught fire from the heat. That little hummingbird flew to the nearest spring and took water in its beak. It come back and spitted on the blaze, then hustled back to the spring. The big old mountain lion was waiting there, looking down his nose at the hummingbird. 'What you doing? Trying to douse such a monstrous fire with your puny beak full of water?' The hummingbird says back, 'The woods is my home. It gives me victuals and shelter.